Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE SmackDown Live episode 1044 and 205 Live episode 143, both broadcast on Tuesday, August 20th, 2019. I'm recording this on Thursday. I got a little bit behind because I don't know what's going on. I just didn't end up recording anything on Wednesday, but I'm glad that I waited because I also went to see a fantastic film called Blinded by the Light. It's directed by, I have it pulled up, Gurinder Chadha, and it stars Viveik. I'm sorry for mispronouncing his names. Viveik Kalra. He plays the main character Javed. And he is a college student who's lives in a small town in the UK, and it's just about he makes a friend named Roops, played by Aaron Pagura, and they really hit it off and they bond over Bruce Springsteen. Javed discovers Bruce Springsteen when he meets this other boy. And so his lyrics just speak to him, and he wants to be a writer. He'd been writing since he was like 10 years old, and he has all these journals that he's been keeping that entire time and all of that. And it's just like it takes place in 1987. So it addresses a lot of the issues in the UK at that time. But they're also like super relevant to right now as far as racial and religious intolerance and just hate in general over just the just people who are different and things like that. And I forget the name of the group and all of that, but it addresses all of that, but I think it does it in a really great way. It never, at least to me, it never felt like it was being preachy about it or about anything in general. It wasn't like, I don't know. I guess the only thing that was really in your face about was the music of Bruce Springsteen. That there were some sections of the film that were shot like music videos with like lyrics on the wall or like floating around Javed's head and things like that. That was really the only like in your face thing about this film. Everything else I thought was just the perfect amount to really hit home things like family, things like society and racism and just be what kind of bad people there are, and what being being like a decent, even halfway decent person, what it takes to do that really kind of thing. But it's go see this movie. It's really good, and I'd say it's like in my top 5 movies of the year. I didn't really think about it too hard. I think it's safe to say it's in the top 5. I mean, maybe like number 6. I don't know, but I can't think of what other movies right away that I would put ahead of it. I don't think. Spider-Man, I think I enjoyed more, but this one is a lot more meaningful, I think. So it's hard to say. It's like comparing Bruce Springsteen to Spider-Man. And it's not even actually Bruce Springsteen. It's about somebody who really, really loves Bruce Springsteen. So anyway, because Maggie was talking about it with her. She saw it over the weekend and said that I really need to see it. And I said, yeah, I am going to see okay, sure. No, I'm planning on seeing it at some point, mostly because it was on the Dolby screen. I want to maximize my A-list pass thing at AMC, but also it looked like a really good movie. But her saying that it was really good, that got me like, okay, I will go see it. I'll definitely see it. And so I did, and I'm really glad that I did. But why did I I had a point that I was going to say. Oh, she's saying that she's glad that it wasn't a Bruce Springsteen biopic because there's been so many of those recently, and a lot of them like coming up, I think, as well. Rocket Man, which I haven't seen yet, Bohemian Rhapsody, a bunch of other ones, and it also it's like a musician driven type of film, but it was in fact about a writer. And normally I'm also really annoyed by a movie about a writer who is writing stuff. But this is great. It works. All of my preconceived notions about movies that I would like or not like. Actually, on paper, I wouldn't dislike this film necessarily, but that aspect of it, if you just told me that much of it, I'd be like, okay, another movie about a writer. Okay, but anyway, it's an awesome movie. Go see it. And the only little bit, I mean, you learn about Bruce Springsteen a bit throughout the movie. And there's like a documentary that he's watching for like a minute of the film, and like that gives you just enough, like the perfect amount of insight into Bruce Springsteen as a person, at least from his interviews and stuff, to say, okay, this is in addition to the lyrics, which is really at the forefront, is him being a writer and all that. It's all okay. Now I realize, if you've seen this film, one thing I'm a little bit disappointed in is that we never get to see his friend's band perform the lyrics that he wrote they have a song, at least one song that Javed wrote the lyrics for, if not a lot of them, and we never hear the lyrics to it. We never hear the song, and I'm a little bit bummed out by that now that I think about it, but that's okay. It would have taken away from it, then would have become about that more than about him and his inspiration and all that kind of thing, and growing as a person, etc. Yeah, I think that's enough about Blinded by the Light. Just go see it. It's really good. And I probably won't go see it. I probably won't go see it again in the theater, but it's absolutely worth seeing, and I would go see it. Go see it. It's great. A lot of people, like most people, should just see this movie. Okay, so that said, let's get on with SmackDown Live. Corey Graves still off on vacation, and from the photos from Carmella and Corey Graves' social media, they're both actually on vacation. So good for them, and hope they come back being very entertaining. Carmella always is anyway, but so David Otunga is taking this spot, and David Otunga did not get murdered by anybody. So he was on the show the entire night. So good. That's good. The fan has not struck again yet. But anyway, we open up with Randy. He's calling Kofi stupid, but then Kofi comes out and attacks Randy from behind. He takes a chair to Randy's leg, or is about to, but the revival comes out. Kofi fights them off, and Big E comes out as well, and they fend off Team FTRKO. So let me address this real quick. If you search, earlier today, it's Thursday, WWE posted a clip of the Shatter KO machine, which I've been calling it that before they had even done it. And they in the caption they wrote Shatter KO ? So they left off the machine, but I feel like I kind of called it. If you search on Twitter for Shatter KO, my original tweet, which was a week before they even actually did the move, was from last Tuesday, a week before anybody else had typed those letters together. So I was saying that I came up with the name, but great minds think alike, and there you go. I was the first one to post about it, to post the idea. So if anybody did see it and they saw it from the TIW podcast account, then hey, that's pretty cool. But it's pretty cool anyway. And I did have Machine on there, keeping the full name of the original moves. So it does make sense just to call it Shatter KO. So I was thinking about that before WWE posted. I was like, oh, maybe it should just maybe Machine is too much. It's already this way. It's the same number of syllables as a Shatter Machine. Shatter KO. Shatter KO. Shatter KO. Pronouncing it like that, it's not as good. Shat R K. Anyway, about that, and also about FTRKO, which I need to search for that too. Maybe I was the first one to call it that too, or one of the first. Let's see. Okay, I was one of 3 people to call it, to use the hashtag FTRKO on August 13th, which was the first time that they teamed up. But then we have the suggestion of it on July 24th, 2018. Ravehound says, so we've had FTR and FTRR. Are we going to have FTRKO next? Hashtag SD Live. So that person, they called FTRKO over a year ago. So good on you for that. Then we had one tweet the next day from Ruthless Aggression Ryan. And then a bunch more the day after that on the 15th. So anyway, saying it all makes sense. It all makes perfect sense. This is like the perfect team, perfect trio. Speaking of perfect, Andrade versus Apollo in a first round King of the Ring matchup. Andrade won this match with a little bit of Zelina Vega's help, just a little bit. I mean, he probably could have won without the help, but you know, I've got to defend Andrade. He's he's one of the best in the world, but not the best in the world because that's dumb. Daniel Bryan and Rowan have a shrouded hostage that they forced to sit backstage the entire show. We find out who they are at the end of the show. It's supposedly the real perpetrator of the crimes against the attempted crimes against Roman Reigns. I guess they still are crimes because attempted. Yeah, they're both attempted murder, basically, right? To hire a stooge. To get, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll just jump to the very last shot is Roman Reigns goes into that very small room with Rowan and Daniel Bryan and the shrouded figure. And I was trying to figure out the entire time saying, it would be really funny if it was Dean Ambrose because he I felt like he had kind of similar mannerisms, but it could be Harper, it could have been Cesaro, it could have been whole bunch of other people. Like it could have been Heath Slater. Maybe it's kind of small for or it's kind of a big person for it to be Heath Slater. But me and Matt were going down the list. Who could it be? But it turned out just to be some guy who has a big red beard and a shaved head, who could plausibly have been mistaken for Rowan by an eyewitness such as Buddy Murphy. Because earlier Roman confronts Buddy and says, were you lying to me or were you lying to them? And he says, well, I'm pretty sure it was Rowan. And what I imagine Roman thinking is like, first, like this is they obviously just found somebody who looks like Rowan to do it, but maybe it was this guy. Do I actually know this guy? Did I piss this guy off at a Starbucks or something? I didn't even realize it. He has this grudge against me, and Buddy Murphy plausibly did think that this was in fact Eric Rowan, and I think that's what that awkward silence, just the stunned reaction of like, huh? What? Are you kidding me? What? This guy? Wait, do I know this guy? Hold on. If it was this guy, he does look a lot like Rowan. That would make sense. That Buddy Murphy is just just pretty sure, but he's not completely sure. Huh? And then they attack him, but they didn't attack him. I was expecting it to be an ambush, but I guess that would defeat the purpose of trying to get off as innocent on these attacks on Roman Reigns. So because if that would be like an obvious admission of guilt, not of those crimes, but that they were trying to get at. They were out to get Roman. So yeah, I like this story a lot. I like it all. They could have easily just wrapped it up and it would have been like, okay, whatever. But now, like if it just concluded at SummerSlam and they had a match and that was it. No, they're taking their time with this and like going. It's what is it? It's a garden path. It's potentially a garden path storyline that I love that about it, that it's just going meandering. You might notice a flower over here. Okay, so let's make that part of the tale that we're telling. We noticed Buddy Murphy in the background of the shot. Okay, that's part of it here, and just adding little bits and pieces, and we'll have a nice bouquet by the end of this. I think that's the analogy I want to make, but anyway, moving on, 24/7 title is suspended so that Elias can focus on his King of the Ring match. We see Drake Maverick has hidden inside of one of the gig boxes as Elias grabs him and pulls him out of there by his throat. Drake is like, I've got you now. It's so funny. But yeah, I saw some complaints that like, oh, it's 24/7 championship can be suspended whenever they want. Yeah, it's happened before, and it happened with Elias. It's the exact same thing. It's consistent, and it makes sense for what they're doing with all that. So I don't know what the complaint is. Oh, they're ruining the 24/7 championship. No, they're making it. This is completely. It can't all like. It's a nice break, I think, and it makes it makes me appreciative more of when it is crazy, silly, bonkers with all kinds of title changes. Now it's somebody who's like, "Are you kidding?" Like, no, he says no, you're not taking this championship, and is actually like defending it and getting out of all these predicaments and. It's a change, and I think it adds to the title lineage. It adds interest to it, I think. But anyway, up next we had Moment of Bliss with guest Charlotte. And Charlotte she made a joke of some. I don't know what the joke is. I don't remember what the joke was, but Alexa's like, "Okay, sit down." Like because Alexa is more of a face now, but she still has the attitude, and I like that a lot in this instance because it was a really stupid joke. I think I can't even, right, she came out, it's like, oh, you want to sit in this chair? That chair suits me so much better, talking about the King of the Ring throne. And like, okay, sit down. Let's do this interview. Bayley comes out and they trade some words, and Bayley shoves her over into the chair and the table. And I thought that I enjoyed that. It was kind of fun. Daniel Bryan versus Buddy Murphy. Daniel Bryan wants revenge for Buddy being a cowardly liar, but Buddy ends up winning the match via Murphy's Law, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan are not happy about that and attack Buddy backstage afterwards. The Revival, they challenged the New Day for the tag team championships before they have a match against Heavy Machinery. What is that? And the Revival wins via a roll-up on Tucker Knight. Or is Tucker? There's Tucky. Tucky. I can't ever imagine his name without Otis's voice in my head. Tucky! Get him, Tucky! Okay, up next we had during an interview with Chad Gable, Shelton peeks his head out and does his eye look around thing, and then he puts a sign up on the door, and it turns out the sign says, people who are must be this tall to compete in King of the Ring, and it's like 6 inches above Chad Gable's head. And as he did that, I was like, why would they put that so far up? He's not even going to notice that. And as it turned out, that was part of the joke. So luckily he did notice it. So you could see that it was a short joke. Anyway, yeah, short joke, stupid, but I thought this one was executed pretty well. That reminds me. When they did the summer fusion thing for WWE Supercard, there was one of the fusion tiers or the fusion combos was you must be this tall to ride. And so I took a screenshot of that and I posted it and said, Alexa is not part of this fusion. And then somebody responded, it's like, yes, she is. She's the shattered tier or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, it was a joke, and technically also correct, because the thing is a short joke, and that specific fusion does not have women superstars in it. It's only male superstar cards that you get from that one. So, yeah, I feel like I stand by the joke that I made, and that was the only person I responded to anyway. So it's not really that successful a joke. Speaking of posts and tweets that have gone unappreciated throughout history, one that came up in my memories that I reposted. Actually, there's a couple. I want to share these because I think they deserve a little bit more appreciation. So for the first one, let's see. Where are we? Oh, maybe I just ignored the other one. I was thinking about posting it in a similar manner, but I said way back then, August 20th, 2012, I wrote, how would Dorothy know what a rainbow or a bluebird are in the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow? How would Dorothy know? I'm going to repeat the joke so that you can get it like on a late night talk show. How would she know what they are? How would she know what colors are? Explaining the joke on the monologue. How about that? Anyway, okay. Up next, we had Miz TV with guest Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has announced that he's now working with Shinsuke Nakamura as his advocate, etc. I don't know. I kind of wasn't paying attention during the first part of that, so I don't know exactly what he presented this partnership as, but he relates to him as an artist and as a poet, and so as they're talking to him, they end up Shinsuke ends up kicking the Miz in the head, and so off we go. Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Miz at some point at Clash of the Champions. Will this be Shinsuke Nakamura's Clash of Champions opponent? We'll find out next time on SmackDown Live Z. Daniel Bryan And then the next line starts with DB. I was like, wait, Dragon Ball. No, Daniel Bryan and Rowan's captive is. Oh, yeah, I already talked about that. But we cut back to them, and the suspense is still there. Shane backstage. Kevin, earlier in the show, asked Shane to reconsider the fine, the $100,000 fine. Shane says, okay, I'll reconsider it, but if it happens again, you're fired. If you put your hands on an official again, you're fired. So Kevin goes out, has a match against Elias. This is the second match. This is a first round. This is a first round match in the King of the Ring tournament. And it is Kevin Owens versus Elias. I had picked Kevin to win this match. I should have known better. I should have known that Shane was going to get involved because he was there at ringside, and then partway through the match, he takes off his shirt, and underneath he has a special fancy referee shirt of his own, and he becomes the referee, does a fast count after trying to goad Kevin into hitting him, and Kevin does not hit him because he needs that job. He's got kids, and oh. What if that's the team? Conrad we were just talking, and he's saying, "What if Kevin teams with somebody who hasn't had much TV time?" And we had that backstage segment a while ago when Heath was trying to ask for a raise or something, and he was just not getting the time of day, and the sound guy was not doing his job very well in that segment anyway. But I don't know if it was his fault. I'm sorry. If it may not have been the sound or her. It may not have been the sound person's fault, the sound operator's fault. It might have been some other issue. I don't know. But Heath Slater and Kevin Owens, they both need this job. They both got kids. That's a team made in WWE. Not in heaven, just in it's a team made in WWE, literally. So there's a fast count. Elias wins, and it's the worst. And then we have the Eric Rowan and Eric Rowan in a room with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Brian Rowan, Roman. Brian Rowan, Rowan, and Roman. Brian Rowan, Rowan, and Roman. Brian Rowan, Rowan, and Roman. Yes. Yeah. I like this episode. Like the story going forward. I'm interested to see what happens next. And I'm really excited for the King of the Ring. Shane needs to. I guess they have to keep him going because he's gonna he's gonna be in a Hell in a Cell match probably. Like that's why they're keeping it going. They got to keep it involved and stuff, and then it culminates again. Shane McMahon. Maybe it's Shane and Elias versus Kevin and Heath Slater in the cell. That'd be weird, but it'd be different. I would enjoy it. So anyway, moving on, let's talk. I did like this episode of SmackDown. 205 Live was amazing again and again and again and again. It was the entire episode was one match. It was a 10-man tag team elimination match. It was a captain's challenge match. On one side, we have Drew Gulak's team of himself, Ari Daivari, Mike Kanellis, Angel Garza, and Tony Nese. On the other side was Oni Lorcan's team of himself, Jack Gallagher, Akira Tozawa, Humberto Carrillo, and Isaiah Swerve Scott, who is freaking awesome. My gosh. He got to really shine in part of this match, in many parts of this match. I'm looking forward to more from all. I'm looking forward to more from him, but I'm looking forward to more from all of these guys. Whatever happens with 205, if it becomes part of NXT, whatever. I talked about all this in the last episode, but man, this match was killer. We opened up before the match even began. I think I peaked the microphone a second ago, so I apologize if that blew people's ears out or something like that. Anyway, before the bell rings, and there I go again. I think before the bell ring. I gotta get less excited about 205 Live because I don't ruin the sound equipment. before the bell rings, we end up with a multi-man umbrella spot with all teammates of Jack Gallagher having umbrellas open to do the diving to the outside spot after a big old brouhaha to open up their first encounter. So that was super awesome. It was a little while. I want to say it was like at least 10 minutes before the first elimination. We had Mike Kanellis eliminate Akira Tozawa. Then we had Jack Gallagher eliminate Mike Kanellis. And then Tony Nese eliminated Jack Gallagher. Let's see. I wrote. Oh, yeah. So Angel, we had lots of great moments between him and Humberto. Their first time going head to head in this match it was wait a second, and he tears off his pants. But the camera cut away while he was doing it, and I was like, well, no, what are you doing? You're missing that's the, not that I was excited to see that, but it's like, that's the action that's happening. And it's really funny. And you cut away to I don't even know what they cut away to. I forget. But apparently, they fixed it for on demand, and they keep on the wide shot for that. And I'm like, you guys do care. You do care to tweak the product. And like, I just call it the product. I hate calling it product. I hate calling it the product, and I just did it. Oh my God. But I was kind of being like insidery in that, like they do care about what they're doing, and that they will like fix things and make them better, and like that's a sign of that. I feel like, because there's too much negativity about the product, and like appreciate the small things, or the not so small things, whatever, you know. Anyway. Let's see. After having been eliminated, they had some backstage stuff, but it was just done in picture. So the match continued. We did not break away for commercials. There was one commercial later on, but it was for NXT the next night, but that was also picture in picture. The match still continued during all of that, and that was really awesome. It feels like they're like, okay, well, let's try something completely different now. Let's do this match that's the entire episode, because we can. Like, why not? Let's just do it. It's gonna be great, and it was great. So I don't know if 205 gets repurposed to be on television elsewhere, or whatnot. I'd be curious to see where commercials are inserted into this one. Because they make sense in the regular episodes, because they usually have 2 or 3 matches and like promos and stuff. But anyway, after the that backstage segment, Jack, Brian Kendrick, and Akira Tozawa are arguing, and Jack points out, well, if you look back, you only won because Brian here helped you. He like shoved my foot off the rope or something like that. So tensions are building there. Then we also had the mystery of the Lucha House Party who attacked Kalisto. Kalisto thinks that it's Humberto, I believe. But the investigation continues, and also we learned that Kalisto loves pudding. He said the truth is in the pudding, and I don't see any pudding. And Kalisto says, well, first of all, I love pudding. Oh, it's great. The matches continue on during this whole time. Oni Lorcan eliminated Tony Nese. Then Drew Gulak eliminated Isaiah Swerve Scott. And then Drew was eliminated when he was disqualified. He eliminated himself by attacking Oni with a chair. So Oni was pretty much out of action from that point on, leaving it down to Oni was still in the match technically. It was Oni and Humberto versus the lone Angel Garcia. Oh my God. Not Garcia. It's Gart. It's Garza. Angel Garza. Did I say it wrong this entire episode? I am so sorry. Oh my God. Angel Garza. versus Humberto Carrillo, head to head, 1-on-1 for this episode was basically 8 matches, 8 eliminations because we ended up with 2 remaining there at the end. After that disqualification, I was wrong. Oni was not out of action after getting hit with the chairs because he then eliminated Arya Daivari. Then after that point, he basically was out of action the whole rest of it. It came down to Humberto versus Angel. So Humberto wins. He and Oni share the spotlight and victory because he made the great choices as the team captain and all of that. And what an epic episode of 205 Live. It's just so good. Watch 205. I know you know who wins this match this week, but go watch this match anyway because it's awesome. And go watch at least the main events from the last 2 months of this show. If not every single one of the 143 episodes so far. Just go watch all of them because they're all great. Some of them aren't as great, but for a lot, they're all at least pretty good. The last 2 months have been amazing. So, there you have it. That is it for everything from Tuesday, plus Blinded by the Light. Go see that movie. I apologize for all of the names that I got incorrect and pronounced incorrectly and all of that throughout this entire episode. No offense intended. It's just bad memory and mostly bad memory. So let me know what you thought about this week's shows, SmackDown 205 Live and Blinded by the Light by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. Any name, anything that you have to say the letter W is just a bad idea. It's like WWE. Like half the time when people say it on WWE, it's like they don't actually they kind of like stumble through at least one of the W's, like WWE, so like whatever. It's such a hard letter to say. Like just the letter is hard to say. The letter in context and other words is fine. Say it all the time. I say it here and it's here, there, and everywhere. That was the only W in that sentence. But man, they could have changed. It's too late now. It's way too late now. NXT, infinitely easier to say than WWE. You can't get WWE chants. WWE. Like that's not happening. It's too hard. NXT. And then, or WWE just sounds dumb. So that chant's not happening. So it's, I don't know. It might be succeeding in spite of the very difficult to say 3-letter name. Dumb. Anyway, anyway, go to the website, whatever, listen to podcasts, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.